still have your underwear.
I still have your virginity.
Would you shut up?
What, are you ashamed that we did it?
No.
Because at least you don't have to have the evidence under your sweater. I'm not planning.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and we are on 1 Mile Island, but I'm going to be showcasing how dense it has gotten. It has gotten so dense to the point where the game is barely even running with a low population. Let's look at this. I want you guys to take a look. This is Oldtown. I want you to take a look at how many buildings are in like one square on one block. Look at this. Look at these blocks. There's like almost 20 buildings per block. I mean, well, more like 10. You know what I mean. There's like 10 to 20 per block. So it's very dense. Even like my more suburban area, our low density area is even super dense as well. Now, I've made the video that my city is the most densest on City Skylines like many times. It's probably my favorite video to make. But I feel like today it's true. I feel like today it's actually true that my city is genuinely the densest. There's no way you can get more dense than this unless, you know, you have mods. Like the density for how small the island is. It's a double thing, you know? The island is small and it's compact. So the only way would be if someone could build a smaller island than this and somehow make the population even greater. But I would say this is probably the most densest city I've built yet. It has a lot of interesting characteristics, a lot of neighborhoods. I'm going to showcase to you right now. But make sure you subscribe and like, because I'm going to be putting out more videos since you guys really love them. So yeah, let's get straight to it. First, I'm going to look at Upper Victoria. Upper Victoria is within Northshore and Oldtown. It's like in the middle between those. And it's actually more of one of the calmer neighborhoods in the city, since it is more, you know, spread out. But the thing is, even while it's more spread out, the buildings aren't so close together. It's still one of the densest areas in the city because of the condos. Like there's nothing but condos in Upper Victoria. So it's really just a nice little neighborhood. Has nice stores. You know, your typical stuff that you're probably going to see around the city a lot. Upper Victoria, nothing special. But I want to go over here to North Shore. North Shore is basically the area. More than a district. It's like the entire area of the city. So it consists of two neighborhoods, actually. North Shore consists of Eagle Heights and Upper Victoria. Part of Upper Victoria. And Eagle Heights is an apartment complex that is super massive. It's just incredible. Look at this. You have like, I don't know how many, I can't even count this many buildings, and I'm not gonna because I'm stupid. But it consists of so many apartment buildings and so many apartments that, I mean, you don't even have to leave this neighborhood. And if you go down close, you have nothing but shops and stores right next to the apartments. Something that you're gonna find a lot in this city. It's not just super dense, because I could easily make this map full of housing, and then technically that would be the most densest city, but I am factoring in every aspect of life. I'm basically saying, do you need a car in this city? And as you can see, no one takes car. And that's by me limiting the population. Because the population would easily be around 500k. But you know, I'm going to run this game and I'm going to show you guys. So pretty much every person walks. Not many people take car. Like if I go even to the main street on Garland Row, there's not many people in cars. And this is like the main street in the city. Everyone is taking transit, which we have multiple options. Like, it's covering pretty much every part of the city. Transit, you can get around every part of this entire city just strictly using transit alone. So Eagle Heights is definitely a nice area. It even has a train line. It has the blue line and it has the yellow line. And you can easily access it too. So, look, right here. Just walk and boom, you're at the station. Or if you want to go to this train, you can go to this train. which would take you to know. It's like kind of a loop. I would say the blue line is definitely a loop. I'm gonna do a video on like a showcase of where it goes and all that, but it's technically a loop. It takes you mainly around this area of the city, which is the east side. But you know, regardless, it's still a nice train. And the yellow line takes you more into Oldtown and sorry, I yawned. It takes you into manual projects, which is a hood. We're gonna get into that later though. But Northshore has a lot of like interesting aspects about it. And then we have Victoria, which is a super dense neighborhood. I need to go into Victoria on foot. It's an older neighborhood in the city that's kind of been gentrified, as you can see. But it's still nice regardless. Like, if you look at all these buildings, it kind of reminds you of San Francisco. Because, you know, it's an island. It's on the west coast. This island would be on the west coast of the United States. So it does have a lot of influence from, you know, San Francisco, LA, even Seattle. So you look at this, there's a lot of like walking you can do. Incredible. Like it's a pretty big, like Victoria's pretty big as well. It's not that small of a neighborhood. It does have a train station. Let's see what train. I don't even remember. I'm pretty sure it's the same train as Eagle Heights because it's like across. Yeah. So Victoria and Eagle Heights share a train station because, you know, the city isn't that massive, if we're being honest. So, you know, these two districts are sharing, even North Row is sharing the yellow line. So a lot of people take, oh, I fucking am yelling so much. Like, a lot of people, like a lot of districts actually take the yellow line. Now, we're going to go up into Garland Row, since we're done with the north side. Garland Row is a really nice area. It's one of the oldest districts in this entire city. I like to think of it as the downtown, a very long downtown. Even though it has a lot of big roads, there's so many places to walk. You can walk, like the sidewalks are big. There's pretty much every transit option in the city. I kind of even see it as a transit hub. The proper downtown, of course, is right here. But Garland Row, I feel, has like it's basically like everything is on this block. This is like the main street. There's like palm trees. You can like see all the graffiti and stuff like that around. Like, and it's just, it looks incredible to me. We even have the U.S. flag and like a bunch of just insane like art going on the street. This is Pioneer Boulevard, and Pioneer Boulevard basically consists of like the oldest districts, like Palmport, Central District, and Oldtown. Even I don't know if it doesn't really touch Oldtown, but yeah, Garland Row is a pretty big area. And North Row is where you kind of have more people living. Garland Row doesn't have much people, considering it's a really long road. To be honest, it's not really housing or, you know, residential district. It's more for the shops and all that. North Row is where like more of your family-oriented people live. It's pretty wealthy, as you can see. A lot of old buildings, a lot of nice New York style buildings with doormans and, you know, pretty quaint style of living. A lot of rich people, but it's just your typical district. Nothing even that special about it, except for it being in the middle of Garland and Victoria and Eagle Heights. So I mean, it kind of has access to pretty much every neighborhood on the north side. Now we're going to the south side. Or you know what? No, I won't go to the south side. Yeah, I'll check out our smallest district. We have Palmport and Little Japan. Palmport is mainly just a small residential district. And it's an extension of the Garland Row. Palmport is known for having a lot of palm trees, of course, hence the name. And it's nothing really crazy about it. It has some nice New York style buildings mixed with these Chinese style buildings right here. So it's like a lot of cool stuff. It's not really that special though. Little Japan, contrary to the belief of the name, it's actually nothing to do with Japan. There's nothing Japanese about it. I mean, I would assume that there was a lot of Japanese settlers that lived there at one point of time when it was first immigrating to the city. But other than that, I mean, we have like some Chinese. Sorry, this is I don't even know what language this is. I'm pretty sure that is. I don't know. I think that's Japanese. Someone tell me in the comments. I don't know my languages very well. I think that's this is Japanese. This is Japanese right here, for sure. So I'm assuming this is all Japanese. Yeah, this is. I think this is all Japanese. I think that's like love in Japanese. So, guys, I'm not a weeaboo. The weebs would know in chat. You guys are. It's not really good with Asian languages. You know, I'm really bad with languages. I can barely speak English. So, yeah, Little Japan is a really interesting area. It has a lot of like character. Yeah, so like a lot of young Japanese settlers. Like if you even go to Fifthmore Lane, this is like one of the oldest like houses right here in Japan District. A lot of like immigrants moved to this house, apartment, and you know it was cheap. It was cheap, and it was close to downtown, so it was a really nice place to be for work and stuff like that. And since we were talking about downtown, we might as well just go and jump into downtown. Downtown is literally it's one of the densest districts. Like most downtowns are dense, but in this city it doesn't really matter that much because pretty much the entire city is like downtown. But it does have it's a nice walking experience, I must say. Like if we go down to the bottom, like to like hang out at the bottom of the city, not the bottom, but like the street. There's like a lot of stuff going on. We have a lot of offices. This city is really known for its tech hub. It's a really large tech hub and all that. So you're gonna see a lot of like those random like offices. Like, let me see, what is this? This is Scandic Baron. I don't even know what that means. Someone tell me in the comments. It's like some Swedish shit. Yeah, look at this. What's this? Oh, a little bit of like, sorry. We have Lubo Digital. So we have a lot of tech in downtown. And what's even better, oh my god, I somehow spawned over here, stupid ass game. We have a lot of tech in this city. So you're going to see a lot of people that are coming to the city for tech. I'm ruining my video. We have Island Hill. Island Hill is a interesting district. It's very large. It's larger than downtown. It's one of the largest districts. So it's a lot of things going on. You have South Island Hill. You have North. You have West, East Island Hill. Like, it's a pretty big district that has so many different apartments. You know. Let me see. You have Pinehurst Street. It's sitting on Pinehurst Street. And let's see the transit. We didn't even see the transit for downtown. Sorry, guys. Downtown doesn't really have that many transit options. Funny enough, it has some of the red line. It has a bus line. It actually has two bus lines. I couldn't see that one, but you know, it actually has a lot of transit options, I would say. And then we get to Island Hill. I'm gonna go back to Island Hill, guys. Don't worry. It's the red line is what comes through Island Hill. It has a lot of stuff. I couldn't even cover just Island Hill in the video because there's so many things about it. It's a pretty old district. It has a lot of nice apartments. A lot of New York style apartments. Let's see. It's right next to the train. Like a lot of people work in this neighborhood. Works at the rail yard. It's close to downtown, but it has more of a homey feel. You know, definitely south. But if you go like north of the city, that's essentially just downtown. But if we are going like north or to south, there's a big difference. Like right here, you have the UK style apartments. New York, like it's New York. It's a really quiet neighborhood. Like even though it's like really close to downtown, it's quiet. It's chill. Not much else about this district. It's like we haven't even gotten to our fondest district, so you guys better wait, okay? Because we have some really interesting districts coming up, which is what I'm going to get to now. Since we are south of the city, we're going to go to Lake Azula. Lake Azula is a big, giant district. I think it's the biggest district in the city by far, and it consists of like 4 neighborhoods, including itself, Lake Azula, which is its own district / neighborhood. When we go down into Lake Azula, I'm gonna go in first person for you guys. We have a nice brick. The roads are pretty big as well, so if you have a car, you're gonna love Lake Azula. But it's still dense enough. It kind of reminds me of Chicago a little bit. It has nice brick homes. Let's see. It actually has a lot of transit that comes through, but I would say it's a little bit of a walk to the nearest transit station. But it does have a train line that comes through Lake Azula. So it's a pretty big district. So it's like it has its own gangs and all that. Which I might put. If you guys want to hear more about the gang history, of this city. You can tell me if you want to, because there's a lot of like interesting gang activity in the city, as you can see. I definitely went into first person to just show you my graffiti. I took a little bit to do that. I would say it's a little bit more gritty over here for sure. A lot more dirty. You look at all this graffiti, like a lot of gang activity. You know, you don't want to be in the big L past 9 p.m. or whatever. Nice storefronts. Like, look at this right here. This district is mainly populated by Latinos. You can see like a lot of Latino culture in this district. Hence the name, like is Lake Azula, which is like just basically Blue Lake. So, and we also have a Morrissey. We need to put more Morrisseys down. I feel like we don't have enough Morrisseys. People in the city love Morrisseys. It's like our Walmart, basically. We have a mall. Everyone, this is a small mall, to be honest. It was a small mall. It has McDonald's in it, so you can get your McDonald's on. And then we have a nice basketball court. This is a very famous basketball court. A lot of culture happened here. Like a lot of NBA players came from this area. Like, look at this. It looks really beautiful. There's a lot of graffiti. It does have some gang activity at this park, so you don't want to be here too long. Definitely if you see some sketchy people. But yeah, Lake Azula has a lot of culture within it. Now we're going to switch to another part of, because we can't even just look at just Lake Azula itself. We have to look at all the districts within Lake Azula. Like, we looked at the Manuel projects. That was the one with all the graffiti. Now we have Spanish Village. Spanish Village is just basically a big giant complex. It's really cool. It's like a bunch of buildings. I don't know how many. This is like almost 20 brick buildings, you know? So, but it has a lot of stores. Not much goes on at Spanish Village. It's actually more of a chill area. Where it gets the most active is definitely the project homes. You know, near Manual Projects, near the Morrisseys and the mall. And of course the basketball court gets pretty like active over there. So if you guys are into that gang culture stuff, you know, leave a comment below if you want me to make a video on that. And then we have South Venice. South Venice. Maybe I should just go to Venice first. Little Venice. It's just a part of. It's not really a part of Lake Azula. It's kind of more part of Garland. But Little Venice is an Italian neighborhood from Italian immigrants. This is basically like a mini New York. So there's a lot of culture and stuff like that. So, you know, a lot of Italian immigrants, a lot of gabagool, spaghetti, pizza, you know, all the, you know, Italian stereotypes you can think of happen here. I think the 1 Mile Island pizza was invented here by your great Jaden Castillo. He invented the 1 Mile Island pizza. You guys gotta try it. I'm gonna even put a recipe out for the 1 Mile Island. Tell me if you want that. And then we have South Venice. South Venice is a extremely big apartment complex. A lot of people live here. It used to be ridden with crime back then in like the 80s and the 90s. But now it is more just a chill little area. Like a lot of old people live here now. Like a lot of the gang activity just kind of moved to the Manuel projects. So, you know, that's good. And the mayor needs to handle. I'm not the mayor. I am just a spectator. I'm not the mayor of the city, right? So we're gonna go into South Garland. It's another big district. I don't know what's big. I don't know if like it's smaller than Lake Azula. South Garland has a lot of districts within it as well. We have, you know, of course, Little Venice, and then we have. I would say that some part of the Manual Projects is actually part of South Garland, but this is also a really interesting area. Like, this is one of the most densest areas of the city. So a lot of people, a lot of art, like it's for a lot of artists. As you can see, there's a lot of like graffiti around here. A lot of younger people live here because it just brings in a lot of art, a lot of artistic value. We actually have some Asian stuff. Look at this. We have like locksmiths, taco bar, churros. Get your churros. Places known to have good churros. There's a little bit of a gang activity, you know, but nothing you can handle. Nothing that's too bad. Nice graffiti, nice art. Unfortunately, I think it doesn't have many transit lines because of how dense it is here. And I think the city wants to really preserve the culture of this. It doesn't want to like erase it and like put like a train through it. So they're still figuring out how they're gonna expand transit over here. But there is a bus line. I think they might do trams next, which is a good idea. I think trams would be better than doing like a big metro line. Something you also will notice is there's a lot of brick. Look at this nice brick road right here. Really old school brick road, which is my favorite to walk on, guys. I love walking on that. You know, that's Garland Road right there. I can already tell because look at the street. You can tell because there's like nothing there besides the road. So that's Garland. That's Garland Road. So South Garland actually has a lot more people. It's actually more known than Garland Road. South Garland is way more known. A lot of people even come to the city for South Garland. There's only parts of it. You know, there's parts where there's gang activity, a lot of stuff, but like it's actually so much history. This is it's a black neighborhood, of course. You know, I have to make a lot of know the black neighborhood in my cities. So it's a lot of like, you know, the Black Panther Party was, some parts of the Black Panther Party was here as well. A lot of musicians, like, I'm trying to come up with like a jazz singer name. Like, Mr. Fomboro is from here. He was one of the best jazz musicians on the West Coast. So, got a couple rappers from here too, repping the Big G, SG, you know, Big Garland. We have 3 Pac from here, you know, a lot of great rappers. So, I can't even look through the whole district. I was gonna look through the whole district for you guys, but it's just so fucking massive. As you like, it'll take like 2 videos just to get through the whole thing. But a lot of people love this city, this part of the city, because of just the history, you know. Now we're gonna move on to Central District, which is basically nothing. It's kind of just in the middle of parts of the city, like downtown. It's in the middle of East and West Side, but it has a lot of transit. I don't think anyone even lives. I mean, aside from these buildings right here, live in the Central District, and most people don't claim them. So yeah, it's kind of not that much of a district, for being honest. Now we're gonna move more up. We're gonna move diagonally to Oldtown. Now this is the West Side. West Side is actually the densest. It is so fucking dense. Like, look at this. We talked about this earlier in the video. Oldtown is so dense. I don't even mean to make it this dense, but it just is. Like, look at this. A lot of brick buildings, a lot of old school buildings. It's because it's Oldtown. It's Oldtown. And West Shore is just oh my god. And it's also one of the safest areas. You would think that density equals crime, but funny enough, the highest density is actually the lowest crime. So Oldtown and West Shore are some of the safest areas of the city. I would go down, but I'm tired of like having to like teleport. Look at this. Wow. And then right above it is Ocean View. Ocean View is a line of like condos. This is where your bougie people live. They live in Ocean View. Look at this. Look at that. Ocean View gives you an ocean view. You know, a lot of bougie people live here, so they can kind of escape the walls of the city. You know, maybe they feel too like claustrophobic in the city, so they, you know, move to Ocean View to get a nice view. But that's not even where the richest people live. The richest people actually live on Lucia Island. Lucia Island is a bunch of islands outside of the city. They're right here. They're suburb. They're your typical, you know, CS2 houses. But they're reserved for the richest of the rich. Like your fucking Donald Trumps and your, you know, Epsteins. That's what it's reserved for. So, you know, really nice area. Look at that. Really dense. I mean, not dense. I mean, it is pretty dense for a suburb. Look, they really filled this island up, I would say. Really filled this island up. And this is kind of like the main area. It's not really a name to this. It's kind of just like an area. I guess you could say this is like Lucia Island connection. I guess you can call all of that Lucia Island. And we have Koshu. Koshu is a really cool city. It's its own city. It's actually in a different like area of the city. Like, it's not even connected. Like, they don't even have the same like government or anything. So Koshu is its own thing. I got inspired by like Hawaiian Island, like an extremely dense Hawaiian Island. So like a lot of native population lives in Koshu. It's really dense. It kind of reminds me of, you know, a European city a little bit, but kind of with like an American twist to it, of course. Look at this. Like, there's so much art. A lot of, it's like a gay acceptance area. So if you're gay, homosexual, you come here. Okay, all the homos move to Koshu right now. You don't have to deal with your rights getting taken away. So, Koshu is chillest neighborhood. Not much to show you though. It's kind of just a normal city. I mean, the bus lines actually are really nice here. They get a lot of frequency considering how small Koshu is. Let me see. It's only 10,000. So, and here's the Morrisseys, of course. Not many people go here though. It has a Morrissey, so that box is checked. And we actually have a ferry that goes from Eagle Heights to Koshu. So you can, if you don't want to take transit, you can take the nice ferry, which was here before this connection. Because Koshu used to just be an island, except, you know, it didn't have this. It didn't have the connection to the city. So it relied on the ferry, which took a very long time, really inconvenient. So they built a nice bridge across. For bus lines, like this one, actually gets a lot of frequency. Look at this. 309 passengers a day. So now we're going to go to a nice place. This is probably one of my favorite parts of this god darn for city. Look at this. We have Palm Beach. Okay? Palm Beach was the first island I built after. I got tired of building within the confines of the square, and I was like, I need to expand. So we moved to Palm Beach, which has the airport, the city's airport. So, you know, this used to not be here. This airport used to not be here. So people relied on taking a boat here, you know? You had to take a cruise here. So now they have a nice airport so you can, you know, fly in. And we're planning on extending it into a different state. We have to get like so. Oh my god, fucking yawning. I'm yawning again. Why am I so sleepy? We're planning on expanding this into a different state so we can have some more connections from there. But you know, it's gonna have to take a lot of like work. But we have Palm Beach, which has a lot of interesting neighborhoods, a lot of density. We have Imperial Heights is actually one of it's the hood basically. As you can see, it's the hood. It actually has the highest population in the city. How much does Palm Beach has? So Palm Beach has 6,000 population. But look at Imperial Heights. It has almost the same in such a small square. So Imperial Heights is very dense. I would say it's even one of the most densest populated parts of the city. I mean, it doesn't look like it, but it pretty much is, considering how many people live there. So Imperial Heights is definitely up there in the most densest part. Palm Norte is where you get super bougie. Why is this here? It doesn't even match. Palm Norte is where you get super bougie. This is where all of your millionaires live, but not your billionaires, because billionaires live on $1 million square. Even though it's meant to be called $1 billion square, I think $1 million square sounds better. It sounds more obtainable. But funny enough, only billionaires live on here. This is where mayors, governors, bullshit, all that random fucking government stuff lives, because they've been taking our tax dollars and sending it to different countries and profiting off of us, of citizens of 1 Mile Island. So, you know, that's just what happens when you live in America. So, $1 million square is where all of our elites live. You can have like a little tree barrier. Like a transit stop's right there. You don't want, you know, not in my backyard, $1 million square. It only has 18 residents, but it takes up so much space. You know, there can be a lot of apartments here. But I mean, that's what, you know, they wanted, of course. Because we want to watch over all these poor people living in these condos in our $1 million house. Look at how big this fucking house is. That's like a Drake size house right there. But that's pretty much it. There's not much else. I mean, we have like this industrial area, but I mean, that's boring. So, thank you guys for watching. This will be showcasing one of the densest islands ever built on City Skylines. I'm guessing maybe there's people that have built denser islands on. I doubt it. I mean, how can you build a denser island on here unless somehow someone built an overhang? Like, imagine like you have like a mountain and then it like kind of was flat. So like layers, like you know, Chinese cities have like layers and layers and layers. Then I might assume that like, okay, it is denser, but I don't know how to do that. So I think it's the densest right now. I mean, in livability, okay? So, because someone can easily just spam a bunch of houses right here, a bunch of like high dense apartment buildings, but that won't really be an actual city. This is actual city with neighborhoods, culture, different cultures. So, thank you guys for watching. I am out.